What is up, everyone? I'm Carlos, and we're Emblem Sauce, and this is the seventh part of the My Hero Academia What If series. What if Deku became a vigilante? Before we begin this part, we would like to thank you all for the support we've been getting so far in all the other videos, and if you have another what if idea that you would like for us to do, leave it down in the comments below, and we'll make sure to reply to it. Also, this will be the last part of the My Hero Academia What If for now, since we want Season 5 to finish before we continue any other My Hero Academia what ifs in the future. Alright, now let's get on with the what if. Deku is trying to leave the area, but he's found by Endeavor, and Deku is too weak to fight back. Endeavor starts to take Deku to the police, but then he's attacked by Koichi. Koichi came back after dropping Toga off at the hideout to see if he can help Deku in any way, and it's a good thing he came. Endeavor gets angry and charges at both Deku and Koichi, but Koichi picks up Deku and takes him back to the hideout. Koichi and Deku arrive at the hideout and take a rest along with Kazuho, Toga, and Oguro. With two members of their team being injured, they won't be doing much. Now, with the students, they'll do the same things they did in the original show. They'll move into the dorms and have the contest on who has the better room, and everyone participates. Even Asui participates, except for Bakugo. Bakugo said he'll sleep early, saying that he's tired from everything, but mostly thinks about when he reached out for Deku back at the battle, but Deku didn't go with him and chose to stay as a vigilante. The students will also participate in the provisional license exam, and everyone except for Bakugo and Todoroki would pass, and Todoroki still doesn't use his fire side. Finally, the students meet the big three, Mirio, Tamaki, and Nejire. The students fight Mirio, even Bakugo and Todoroki join in to fight, but they don't stand a chance against him, and each one of them gets one-punched, except for Bakugo. Bakugo doesn't fall after one hit, but he's still unable to hit Mirio, and he eventually loses. Back with the Vigilantes, Koichi wants to scout the city to get some sort of lead on Shigaraki, and the League's whereabouts. He starts to scout the city in any place he can think of where the League of Villains might be hiding at. One night, Koichi spots a villain twice, and he's walking with someone else. Koichi recognizes twice from that fight Deku and Toga had with the League of Villains, but he doesn't recognize the other guy, who's wearing a mask that covers his mouth and nose. Koichi follows them trying to not be noticed, and eventually, they arrive at a warehouse. Koichi gets closer and looks through a window and sees the League of Villains talking with a masked man. Shigaraki discusses his plan to Overhaul, but Overhaul doesn't go along with it and makes a mockery of Shigaraki and the League of Villains as a whole. The League gets pissed, and Magnet charges at Overhaul, but once he touches Overhaul, his upper body bursts. Koichi is stunned seeing someone do such a thing, with just being touched a little bit. He thinks of getting away since he now has enough information on the League of Villains, and doesn't want to be discovered and engage in a battle. But then another member of the League of Villains, Mr. Compress, charges at Overhaul and plans to steal him away. But his arm also bursts, and Koichi sees this, and then notices two individuals wearing similar masks like Overhaul's, charging at the warehouse, and they break in. Overhaul and his goons leave the area, and Koichi leads back to the hideout to let everyone know that Overhaul might be a big threat to them. Koichi arrives and lets everyone know what happened, and also tells them the location of the League of Villains hideout. Deku tells everyone that once he and Oguro are completely healed, they'll think of a plan to take down the League of Villains. Deku tells Koichi to try to keep an eye on them, and Overhaul too, because if they ever team up, it could be trouble, and they need more information on them. Koichi and everyone else understands, and once they're ready to battle, they'll make an assault on the League. Some time passes, and Koichi heads out to scout the city when he sees someone robbing a store, and goes to stop them. Koichi goes closer to the store and sees the criminal return the money and talks to a little girl who was recording the whole thing. Koichi's confused and goes closer to them and confronts them about what they're doing. Both of them think Koichi's a pro hero, and one starts to fight him and the other starts recording. Koichi says he doesn't want to fight and that he only wants to talk, but both criminals say that he's only saying that to lower their guard. But Koichi keeps telling them he doesn't want to fight and even specifies that he isn't a pro hero. Both criminals think that he might be telling the truth, but then one of them says that he can pretend to be one so he can make a video of them two fighting. Koichi's confused about this odd request, but tells them no and even wonders if they're even actual criminals. And they say of course as they reveal their names. The little girl is La Brava and the other guy is Gentle Criminal. At this point, Koichi doesn't think they're even criminals and prepares to head off before getting attacked by Gentle Criminal. Koichi asks what gives, and Gentle Criminal puts on an act as if he was an actual villain, fighting a hero, so he can upload a video of it. Koichi keeps telling them that he doesn't want to fight, but at this point, it looks like he might not even have a choice, and they begin to fight. Gentle Criminal has the upper hand at first, catching Koichi off guard with his weird power, but eventually, Koichi manages to outspeed him and land some hits on Gentle Criminal. Their fight goes on for a while, with Koichi mainly repeating the fact that he doesn't want to fight, and Gentle Criminal trying to make the fight more interesting for his video. The fight keeps on going, but then a pro hero arrives in the area asking what's going on, and Koichi, as well as La Brava and Gentle Criminal, make a run for it. But then Gentle Criminal and La Brava are confused on why Koichi is running away, since they thought he was a pro hero. Koichi tells them one more time that he isn't a pro hero, and reveals that he is a vigilante, and tells both Gentle Criminal and La Brava that he just wants to talk. Gentle Criminal and La Brava agree to talk to him, and they find a safe place to have their discussion. Eventually, it turns night, as they all think that no pro heroes would find them, and they begin to talk. Koichi asks if they are actual criminals, and they explain that they're not. They just make YouTube videos for entertaining purposes. Koichi asks why, and they reveal their past to him and how they met. Gentle Criminal tells Koichi that he wanted to be a hero, but he failed at that, and even got someone killed when trying to save them, and eventually, time moved on to the point when his old friends didn't even remember him. He was stuck not knowing what to do, and eventually, he started making YouTube videos with poor editing skills, for the sole purpose to entertain, and came up with the name Gentle Criminal. La Brava tells Koichi about her past, how she was stalking her middle school crush, and eventually, she was rejected. She spent most of her days in front of her computer, not socializing with anyone, and got into a state of depression. But then she stumbled across one of Gentle Criminal's video, and it made her happy, and she went to go meet him, and helped him with his videos because it made her happy. Koichi asks if they want to be a hero, and Gentle Criminal does want to be, but if it's only okay with La Brava, and she's fine with it. Koichi proposes an offer to them of becoming vigilantes and to join his group. Gentle and La Brava give it a chance and agree, and they all head back to the vigilante hideout. They arrive, and Koichi explains what happened and introduces them. Deku, as well as everyone else, trusts Koichi in his decision and accepts Gentle Criminal and La Brava into their team. Back to the students, they are now taking part in their internships. Mirio heads to Sir Nida's agency, and Sir Nidai explains to Mirio about Overhaul and how they are currently investigating his background. After this, Mirio goes on patrol to do some light hero work. While Mirio is doing that, Koichi is actually roaming around the city for any suspicious activity about the League of Villains or Overhaul. Koichi manages to spot someone in an alleyway, and it's none other than the one of the villains he was worried about, Overhaul. Overhaul hasn't seen Koichi yet. He's currently distracted and chasing after a little girl, and Koichi jumps in front of Overhaul and confronts him about this, and asks why he's following a little girl. Overhaul explains that he is her father, but Koichi doesn't believe that, and already knows that Overhaul is bad news. Koichi really doesn't want to get into a fight with Overhaul, since he doesn't think he can take him head-on against that powerful quirk. Area leads manage to flee, so Koichi decides to leave as well, but then he's attacked by two of Overhaul's goons that were nearby, and Overhaul chases after Eri. Koichi can't handle both goons at once and manages to get away and heads back to their hideout to tell everyone what just happened. However, he doesn't know that Overhaul talked with Mirio and took Eri back. Koichi arrives at the hideout and tells everybody what happened, and Deku says that the whole group is almost fully healed, and when they can, they'll go scouting to try to find and take down Overhaul. The same thing with the heroes and students happen, and they infiltrate Overhaul's base. The group of vigilantes see the heroes all in front of the building they believe that Overhaul is hiding at, and they need to find another way in. Deku tells everyone to be on guard, while he and Koichi go into the building to fight. When Deku and Koichi get in, they see a student protecting Eri, and he's pretty beaten up, and Overhaul is about to finish him, before Deku punches Overhaul with 15% of One For All. Deku tells Koichi to get Mirio and Eri somewhere safe, while Deku will take care of Overhaul. Deku and Overhaul begin to fight, and over time, Deku keeps breaking his limits, using more percentage of One For All. But it's not enough. They keep fighting, but Deku gets help from Gentle Criminal, as well as the other vigilantes. They all work together, and Deku lands the final blow on Overhaul, knocking him out. But they immediately run away after that, since there are a lot of pro heroes in the area, and they don't want to go to jail. Everyone arrives at the hideout and instantly goes to sleep. They're pretty tired from the fight, and they use too much energy. Back to Overhaul's place, everything else goes the same, with his goons being arrested and Shigaraki decaying Overhaul's arms and taking the anti-quirk injections. The students all put on a festival, and they all have fun, and Endeavor proves to be a worthy number 1 hero by defeating the Nomu that attacked the city. Well everyone, that's the end of this part of the My Hero Academia What If. If you enjoyed, leave a like, consider subscribing, and share this video with your friends. Also, if you have another what if idea that you would like for us to do, leave it down in the comments below, and we'll make sure to reply to it. That's all I have to say, and thank you all for watching. Peace.